A few months ago, I reached a point where I barely recognized myself. I wasn't sleeping properly, my energy was gone, and the thing that scared me most was that I'd completely lost the urge to write. For years, writing had been my comfort. That's the place where I managed to finish two self help books for adults and two children books. Whenever I felt overwhelmed, I could sit down with my laptop and the words would come. But suddenly they did not. I would open a blank page and just stare at it. No ideas, no sentences, and sometimes I couldn't even remember the right words. I have a full time job, and in the past, with this full time job, I managed to finish my third manuscript. 7 to 9 in the evening was my writing time. But now, when I would come home, I will sit on the sofa, stay there for hours, my laptop will remain close to me, but end of the day, I won't write a word. I won't even open my laptop. At the end of each day, I felt frustrated with myself. I kept telling myself to push harder, be more productive, try more, but nothing worked. At first, I was blaming the stress at work to be the cause of my sleep problems. But eventually, I realized something had to change. So I booked an appointment with my doctor, and that decision became the start of a completely different chapter. My doctor advised me to start recording my sleep. So I was given an app in which I had to record what time I woke up, what time I went to bed, how many times I woke up in the night, and what time I could go back to sleep. Before I move on, I want to tell you that whatever I did was under the observation of a doctor. If you have any trouble with sleeping or you have insomnia, then please consult a doctor. What I used worked for me. It really helped me to get back my sleep. But then I was very careful about doing everything under the observation of doctor. I know this works. Small and consistent step works. But be careful, take an advice from the doctor and then use these tips. In the beginning, every morning I recorded what time I went to bed, what time I woke up, how many times I woke up, and how long it took me to fall back asleep. For the first time, I stopped relying on how tired I felt and started looking at the actual patterns. What I discovered surprised me. The nights I thought were complete disasters were not always as bad as I imagined, and some habits that seemed harmless were affecting my sleep more than I realized. Recording everything on that app made me aware of what was happening instead of feeling like I was fighting with an invisible problem. The process also gave me something I desperately needed. It was my sense of control. For weeks, I had felt as though life was happening to me. My energy was low, my creativity has disappeared, and my confidence was slipping away. But tracking my sleep gave me a small daily action that I could focus on. It wasn't a dramatic change, but it was a start. Around the same time, I began listening to podcasts during my walks and quiet times at home. Instead of filling my mind with worry or stress or unwanted thoughts, I started filling it with conversation that inspired me. I listened to Louis House, Joe Dispenza, Tara Swart, and Dr. Rangan Chatterjee. Their stories and ideas reminded me that setbacks don't have to become permanent. Many of the people they interviewed had gone through difficult periods and found their way back to life by making small, consistent changes. So, my first small step was to make a list of the things that I would like to try. This list also helped me to change the things when something wasn't working for me or when I needed to add another activity into my routine. From that list, I decided to read a book before going to bed and begin my day again by reading few pages instead of just checking all the notifications on my phone. Since January 2026, I have managed to finish 10 books in different genres, and thanks to this simple habit, I instantly found an improvement in my sleep quality because now I was not overthinking or stressing about the things that happened during the day. My mind was filled with the information that I gained from reading the book. It distracted me instead of worrying if I can get back to my sleep or I could sleep that night. The top shelf of the book rack behind me is witness to my reading habit. The left side carries the books that I have already finished, and the right side are the books that I want to read. These days, I am reading a book, The Happiness Project by Gretchen Rubin. Coincidentally, when I was working on today's video script, I came across a section where this book confirms the habit of breaking your goal into smaller steps. What she says is people are more likely to make progress on goals that are broken into concrete, measurable actions with some kind of structured accountability and positive reinforcement. The bookshelf on the top of the book rack behind me was a positive reinforcement. It was my accountability buddy. I could see my progress and I could feel happy about it. I could see that I have managed to read more books this year than I have ever had. I'm able to enjoy the books and I am able to challenge myself in reading different genres. Moving on to the next step. After I got comfortable with the reading habit every morning and night, I decided to pick up something new from the list I had made it to take control of my life and to have a better sleep. My idea was to get my creativity back. So then I decided to do some stretches while I was preparing tea in the morning. This was to increase the blood flow in my body and to feel more energetic. I felt happy when one day I heard Dr. Rangan Chatterjee saying that he also uses that time for exercising. It acted as a validation to me that I was on the right path. The next step for me was to get back to my writing. And at that point, a book called Flourish by Daniel Coyle helped me a lot. In that, I figured out that Julia Cameron used to have a morning pages habit every day. She used to write 3 pages or more to develop her habit of writing. And I started using that strategy. But I needed more help. I needed some writing prompts to get back into my writing and to tell my brain that I can do this. I can get my passion back. And at this point, I came across another book that helped me to get my creativity back. The book is written by Richard Carlson and it's called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff and It's All Small Stuff. It's an inspirational book where it shows you how to change your perspective, how to reduce your stress by setting small intentions and by practicing small things every day. This was a big game changer for me. I committed to writing 3 pages every day after reading one chapter from this book. But I have to be honest that not every day I managed to write 3 pages, and not every day I had the flow of creativity. But I had the satisfaction of writing it. I was enjoying this journey and I was able to sleep better. I was able to get back to my writing. That helped me to write my second children's book. And right now, I'm also working on my another self help book for adults. In this whole process, I also made an Excel sheet wherein I started tracking my progress. That was again a form of accountability to help me to figure out how I was progressing. My idea was not to stress myself or to increase the load on me in any way. My idea was to get back to my writing. Reading and writing are my passion, and this is how I started my journey. Because of that, I started talking about my learnings and also making these videos to bring it to you, to share my journey and to help you in your writing. If you liked this video or something resonated with you, then hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share with a friend who might need to know how to get their writing back or how to live from their passion. This is Vandana Sehgal. I'm an author and a book writing coach,